Hi, my magic of small world big data. We're here today talking about AI. Of course, we're talking about AI. Everybody's talking about AI. If you're looking at AI though, and you're trying to apply AI in your organization or for whatever purpose, you probably aren't really doing AI testing, are you? You know it. You need AI testing for lots of reasons, from just being correct to being compliant and making sure you're actually adding value to the customer. Stay tuned. We've got RagaAI here today to tell us about AI testing. Hold on. Hi, Gaurav. Welcome to our show today.
Thank you, Mike. Thanks for having me here.
So you started RagaAI some time ago because you have this deep interest in AI as I do. How did you sort of get started in this whole land of artificial intelligence? Where was your background there?
Yeah, no, first of all, Mike, thanks for having me here. I have been an AI and software practitioner all my life. I started coding when I was 13, and I was very passionate about all the innovations and the change that software and AI can bring, right? And I did my master's in AI computer vision back in the mid 2000, around 2005. And I've seen the full evolution of AI, right? From the early days of machine learning, traditional methods, to when AlexNet came, ImageNet came, right? In the 5 to 10 years later, right? With deep learning. And now with the advent of generative AI and LLMs, right? So I just seen an exponential improvement in what AI can do, right? And the promise it brings, right? So yeah, so I've been very excited about this now.
All right, so AI, I've been following AI obviously since I was a youngster as well. We've been looking at, expert rules-based systems and things that might pass the Turing test, and neural nets are exciting, and then deep learning and all the rest of it. But one of the things that's always struck me is that it's really always hard to tell if AI is doing the right thing. You
Yeah.
basically create this model because you want it to be smarter than you are in some cases, but then you can't tell if it's smarter than you are or not in a lot of cases. So anyway, it's cutting forward. Today we've got generative AI. Man, that stuff is everywhere, and I don't know. How do you tell if it's correct or not, right? So what do we do? Where do we even start on that?
Yeah. Now, Mike, so that's such an important question, right? The failure of AI is everywhere, right? And it starts with detection of these failures. That's the number one problem statement. I'll tell you a story why I started Raga AI. It was a few years back. I was in California. I was driving a semi-autonomous vehicle, right? And it was rainy, dark. The vehicle was supposed to brake because there was debris in the road. It did not. In a split second, I realized that AI has failed. I put the brakes. If I would have not, I might not have been sitting here.
Hmm.
So understanding, detecting AI failures is a number one step, right? And that's what we do as a step one. Step two is to know why it has failed. And then the step three is to how to fix that, right? And detection starts from a range of looking at AI from all different aspects, be it the data it is used to train, or in the case of LLMs, right, fine tune or RAG, right? The prompts we are getting, the correctness of those, and the correctness of the output in terms of the context, right? So we have to look at all different things to make sure that we are detecting and understanding why AI has failed. And Raga AI has built some key technologies to address this important problem statement, right? Raga AI has built some foundation models to understand this AI underperformance today, right? And that has been very critical.
All right, so let's dive into this a little bit. If I'm trying to implement an AI feature or layer or advisor in my organization, or I'm tasked with even just supporting one and getting it into production, well, my main concern, making sure that the data is secure, making sure that it operates, making sure that it performs as an application should. But now I've got these additional concerns. Is the AI correct? Is the AI performing properly? Is the model drifting or not? I mean, you mentioned it yourself, sort of data that going into it, garbage in, garbage out kind of stuff. I've got to now monitor that stuff as well. I've got to manage that, and I've got to measure how I'm doing on those categories. And that's really kind of new territory for a lot of people when we look at organizations and enterprises today. They're used to sort of like, I can run the application, but it's up to the developers to make sure it was doing the right thing. Now it's like, wait a minute, I got to run this thing that's got its own smarts, and now I have to monitor how smart it is and how smart it's
Yeah.
staying, right? Basically, right? So what does someone need to do to be able to implement ongoing operational
Yeah.
management of this?
So this is very important question, Mike, right? So first of all, we know that this is so important to be able to basically make sure that AI is functioning properly. And it's not easy to do that, right? And it's not happening today. That's the problem, right? Uh, because a lot of focus is on building and deploying AI, and that's the reason we are seeing so much failure, right? And that's exactly because it is so ad hoc, right? That's exactly where RagaAI comes in, right? Where we have this platform with over 300 plus tests, right?
Okay.
Which can be deployed on customer cloud or prem, right? And any test can be just called as a very simple AI in anywhere in the CI/CD pipeline as with a Python interface, right? So now anyone who is building and deploying AI in the world has this tool and platform, right? Which they can just use to make to understand their quality and performance of AI in a very simple three-step process, right? And that's the reason Raga AI has become the number one testing platform in the world already, right? With over 300 plus comprehensive tests.
All right. So 300 tests. Tell us what this three-step process is. Just tick it down because, I think there's a lot of people who are saying, "Hey, I don't know the black box. I don't know what's inside this AI. I'm not the data science team, or maybe I am, but what's sort of the operational three-step process?"
Yeah, so it's very easy to use, right? So the customer just have to basically do a pip install of our technology, right? And just call our API and see the results, right? And the results include detection of the issue, diagnosis, and actionable recommendation, right?
Okay.
So very, very simple to use, click buttons.
All right. So we can actually start to see maybe the emergence of people who aren't data scientists but being in production, who are more responsible for the correctness and compliance of this thing than just the creation of it to start with. And they need Raga AI and testing solutions to get their hands around that part of it, right?
Exactly. Right. So we are making testing uh, not only as something which should be able to detect any issues, which is very important, but also easy to use by anyone who wants to ensure that AI, even if they're not building the AI, they are users of AI, that AI should work well. It should give the intended result.
All right, we talked I just sort of teased a little bit about correctness and compliance, but tell us, what are some of the common failures that people will see in their AI if they're not, especially if they're not watching out for it? What
Yeah.
creeps up on them?
There are like range of failures. I will talk about a few of them. For example, bias,
Hmm.
right? AI is, there have been so many public instances of bias, right? Uh, we had one customers who was just looking to find the right resumes for doctors,
Yep.
and the AI was giving primarily male doctors, right? And using our technology, they were able to quickly fix that, reducing those errors by over 90%.
All
Right?
right. So
So
this so it could identify gender bias in the data. Was it looking at the training data, or was it looking at the model output, or both in that case?
So it was looking at a lot of different things, but the primary thing here, the issue was the training data bias.
Okay.
The training data was biased towards uh, towards one particular gender as compared to the other.
All right. And then I know people. So we're talking about your testing platform is good for all kinds of machine learning uh, functions and use cases. Popular today, you might have heard of these large language models, right? That everyone's doing. Uh, what can it do for that? I mean, that's such a different environment where I put in some natural language prompt and get something out. Which how do you look for correctness and compliance and whatever else in that?
Yeah, no, Mike. So LLMs and Gen AI is magical, right? But it
Yeah.
fails, right? And we have to look at all different aspects, like the way we do it for any system. You have to look at all different aspects, be it the prompt, so the prompt correctness, be it the right data it is used to either does the RAG, which is basically providing the context, the user context,
Mhm.
or the fine tuning, or the output, right? The context of the output, right? The correctness of the output. So we have to look at all different aspects to make sure that LLMs are working fine all the time.
And you've got a platform that then does that and helps someone understand those are the things they need to be looking for. Just quickly, I said compliance like 5 times here. What are we talking about and how you help someone be compliant?
Correct. The next step of testing is compliance, right? So we want to make sure that our AI is working fine, right? That's exactly the goal of Raga AI. But we also want to make sure that it is doing the right thing all the time, and that's exactly is compliance, right? The next step of testing is compliance, and Raga AI is basically offering testing with 300 plus tests, but it's also offering compliance for various aspects, right? To ensure that the AI, all different kind of AI, basically is basically compliant to various regulatory standards or guidelines.
Right. And you're also looking, sort of at the core measurements people might normally think of, performance, latency, scale, uh, even drift in the answers if there's a test answer set, right? So you're doing all that, which people I think have understood for a while, but you're now layering on this idea of let's look at the data set, let's look at the bias, let's look at compliance, let's look at some of these other things, and especially as we get into these, I don't want to say, yeah, funkier applications of AI that people are applying to on there, which is pretty cool. Uh,
Exactly.
and so this is, I think you mentioned this. It is a not just a not necessarily a SaaS solution, but something people run in their own premises as well. Or how does that work?
Yeah. No, I think so. That's a very important design consideration. So our solution it supports both basically. So it supports deployment on customer private cloud or prem as well. Right?
Okay.
Primarily because data privacy has become so important. So we enable this for all customers that our technology runs, that their data never leaves their infrastructure.
Okay. So you're not pooling everyone's AI together and creating this massive data set behind the scenes. You're saying, well, look, we understand the AI problem. You get to run this in your own environment. This is great.
We definitely
Uh,
respect our customers' data privacy.
yeah. So I understand it's kind of early days to be looking around and saying, hey, there's there's these AI experts in QA now, and there's these AI experts in DevOps, and there's AI experts in really they're not, right? You have the data science team who are the AI experts, and what you're doing is enabling those downstream really operators of AI and appliers of AI and managers of AI to get their hands around this problem and to be able to manage it properly.
Exactly, right? So we are
Yeah.
enabling everyone who is associated with AI, right, to be able to make sure that they are confident on the output of the AI. They're happy with the ROI of the AI, right? And that's when the eventual goals of AI will be achieved.
All right. So pretty early days for AI in the enterprise. It's definitely coming on strong. You've got a testing platform there. A lot of people looking at this are probably going, "Oh my gosh, I should take a look at this." If they are interested, Gaurav, where should they go? Obviously, you've got a website, but is there anything special you'd point them at?
Yes, definitely. Two places. Try Raga AI, try our platform. Second is book a demo. So we are very readily available at both the places.
Okay, that's Raga AI. And just finally, Raga didn't come about because of retrieval augmented generation, the RAG name. It came about earlier than that. What does Raga actually imply?
Yeah. So Raga is an Indian word which means like music and tuning. So we are tuning the AI.
Tuning the
That's
AI, yeah. I'd say happy circumstance there, but because you're helping people with that. But check it out, folks. Raga.ai for AI testing, and testing includes not just correctness, but compliance, failure modes, operational requirements, and all that other goodness that you want as you're deploying AI into production. So take care, folks. Thank you for being here again today.
Thank you. Thank you, Mike.
All right. Take care, folks.